Welcome, welcome everybody here to Sports Talk Network, the Sports Talk Network channel, and here for specifically the Smackdown Live, WWE Smackdown Live review, and this review specifically for the September 12th edition of Smackdown Live here in the year of 2017. Welcome everybody that is watching live or watching archive when the video is processed and uploaded to this grand channel. Welcome to subscribe, of course, like the video, share the video to anybody, everybody, WWE superstars, friends, family, familia, whoever you feel may be interested, may care, that is a fan of WWE. Also, let them know about my Facebook fan page, where Steve's Wrestling Ramble, my podcast associated with these reviews that I do on Monday and Tuesday nights after Raw and SmackDown Live. Again, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. Again, on Twitter at WWE_podcast. Also on Instagram. I know I'm not there as actively. And I mean, J. Thomas is there sometimes, posting pics of herself, and others that I know. But on Instagram, I am at StevieK_06. Again, StevieK_06. Welcome to follow me there and like some of my pictures. And I have 2 videos there too, from, whatever. I forget what I talk about. But anyways, I have that over there on Instagram. So welcome to venture over there when you have a moment late tonight or early tomorrow morning, meaning 1 a.m. in the morning, Central Time or your time or whatever time able to. But anyways, that's where you can follow me all on social media. But let's get right into it. SmackDown Live. I want to bring up here my SmackDown Live Insta poll going on, and if I can actually get to my at WWE Show podcast Twitter handle, that'd be nice. Internet connection going a little bit slow tonight. Apologize. But as I get that up, like I said, SmackDown Live, to me, I think this episode was pretty awesome. I liked how they promoted it, and it seemed like it was a big deal. And it certainly was. And it was promoted to be like it was its own pay-per-view event, which I said on Talking WWJ earlier tonight when I did the SmackDown Live review over there on that channel. Again, Talking WWE with Jay. Follow him on Twitter, Jay himself on Twitter for the show, at Talking WWE with just the letter J. Again, that is Talking WWE with just the letter J. And my co-host over there are team members, Stephen A. 1181. But looking here, again, as I put it, how did you think tonight's Sin City SmackDown went for SmackDown Live episode? And welcome to retweet if you want to, if you are on Twitter, to get more votes. Right now I have 10 votes total. 10 people voted. 22 hours left. So you have 22 hours until 9:02, I think it'll be, specifically Central Time. To vote on that, I guess, to 24 hours. There's 60% said great, 40% said good, 0% okay, and 0% terrible. Again, that is right now 10 votes, 22 hours still left in voting. There's only a full hour away from the end of the SmackDown Live show, the hashtag Sin City SmackDown episode there in Las Vegas. And as I have the title of this video, this review video for SmackDown Live, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And for those that are watching live, welcome to join in the live chat, like the video, and all this fun stuff, as I always say. But anyways, because, well, that's the tagline for Las Vegas. That's where most bachelor parties and bachelorette parties, equal opportunity, women, men, bachelor parties happen in Vegas. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But for WWE, a lot of interesting things happened in Las Vegas and here on this show. And one thing that I thought was going to happen, and that was new tag team champions. And that being the New Day. And as I like to do, I like to say hello to everybody in the live chat, the Destroyer, Sean 3 Club, Garrett, Seth freaking Rollins, and Jay Thomas. So thank you all for being here live. I was just saying hi. Seth Rollins saying hello. Sean 3 Club Garrett saying didn't expect Stephanie. Don't worry, I'll be talking about Stephanie McMahon. I'll be talking. Jay Thomas asking, what did I think about the whole Vince deal? Do you think it was fake? I'll talk about all that when we get to the main event. I know maybe I should talk right away, but I want to actually go with a plan, and that being talking about SmackDown Live from the start to the end. So I guess I can tease it as WWE was teasing Vince McMahon to be on the show, as I thought that was going to kick off the show, teasing that all the way to the main event segment. So I'll tease talking about that segment till we get to the main event segment of this review. So there you go for that. But I definitely will be talking about that. If you guys want to talk about it already amongst yourselves, you're more than welcome to interact with each other. Again, like I said, if you're watching live, say hello at least so I know that you're here in the live chat, and welcome to like the video later on if you so choose to do so. But I always appreciate, especially Sarah Baccarat and Jay Thomas, for usually trying to be here for all my wrestling videos. I mean, my other live videos I talk about TV shows, and otherwise they could probably care less. But I appreciate them being here for my wrestling ones where they do care a little bit more than those other ones that I do here on this channel. But either way, like I said, I'll start from the bottom to the top. So starting off with the start of the show, which this time into me, and that being Kevin Owens kicking off Cincinnati Smackdown with some ideas of grandeur for the Kevin Owens show and everything, how things would go, and Sami Zayn being fired, and new theme for the show, and this and that. I think there were some other things that he brought up that would be happening with the Kevin Owens show, and hey, some were interesting. Oh, and the two commentators being in one suit, meaning two men, one suit together. That would have been funny to see. They actually had that all happen for one episode. Didn't see that coming. Obviously, don't think that was going to happen, but it would have been funny to see some of these things actually happen. And I mean, well, I built some things with the commentary team. I'm not talking about the whole firing Sami Zayn. Even in kayfabe, I don't want that to happen for Sami Zayn. Though, if you're not going to do anything with him, maybe he might just need to leave. And we see this Dolph Ziggler coming out because we think it's Shane McMahon, and I even got hooked, line, and sinker by like a chump. Because I actually thought that was going to be Shane McMahon, and then I thought that in the main event segment when we did have Mr. McMahon there on live TV on SmackDown Live, that we would have Shane McMahon part of that segment as well, but that was not the case. Which makes sense, you had him suspended, and definitely suspended by his own father, by the chairman and CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon himself, Mr. McMahon, specifically here in the kayfabe. We're here in our WWE Universe bubble, but still interesting there for sure. And then you have Daniel Bryan coming out there as well. So certainly a good way to start off the show. There with Kevin Owens, which was the biggest thing that had against this show, right? Mr. McMahon was going to Kevin Owens even starting off with, kind of calling him out. And then Shane's music hits, and then that's Dolph Ziggler, like I said. So certainly a strong way to start. And then keeping it going against SmackDown Live. They're not on point. They're not A+ every single week, but they're pretty dang close, and they do pretty well. As I always say, or as I have been saying since they went live, and again, I'll say this again because I feel in the end, Steve was right. Stevie K here, your host. Stevie K was right in the sense of SmackDown, it needed to go live. It needed the brand extension, as it's called. Not the brand split, but we call it the brand extension. However you call it, it was needed for SmackDown because before then, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. But before that all happened, before that was even rumored to even happen in the dirt sheets and credible news outlets, online and otherwise, in Talk Pro Wrestling, that SmackDown was a bad show. Was as being taped and reading all the spoilers and already knowing things ahead of time, especially for me, I do read spoilers. For most things. Now, the Mae Young Classic, I didn't, but for the SmackDown shows in the past, I did. And if I liked something like Seth Rollins' segment was going to happen with him and Triple H or something, and okay, I'll watch that part, but whatever, I'll pick and choose. I poke my head in for that, and then maybe this match seemed interesting, so I'm going to see how it came off on television, this and that, but not the whole show. But now with SmackDown Live, with it being live, obviously, if you're interested, you will just inherently, as a WWE fan, in any realm, casual or diehard or otherwise, Mark or Smart, however you categorize yourself as a fan of WWE, you'd be more inclined just naturally to then be watching the SmackDown shows. And now with being SmackDown Live and having their own writers, bookers, and specifically Road Dogg at the helm, in that realm, in that case, backstage, SmackDown and the shows have just flowed seamlessly. And for most of the time, again, not 100% of the time, but most of the shows, for me personally as a fan, it makes me wanting more. 2 hours, bam, 2 hours already. It's already over. What the heck? Or we're already at the main event. What's up with that? It was the Hurricane from WWE Superstar, the Hurricane, which, as I'm actually saying this joke, the Hurricane and Hurricane Irma, not a joke, affecting millions of people. My co-host for the Talking WWE Smackdown live review, Katrina. You can follow herself, her cool self, on Twitter at Katrina the Good. Her family was affected by it. And again, at the most, or at least to her, she's very blessed, she says, because all they lost was power. In that sense, and everything seems to be okay. They're okay, obviously, they're still alive, they're all good. And that and her husband are good going in that sense. So my thoughts and prayers to her and her family, all the other families affected, especially those that did lose loved ones in the hurricane and its path of destruction. The Florida Keys all the way into Florida and the other states, even as a tropical storm. It still packs a punch. I would still take it seriously if I was in those states, even though it was downgraded immensely to that tropical storm. It's still a storm. I take all storms seriously. I'm like an amateur meteorologist. Every time a storm comes through here in Wisconsin, in the Badge State, whether it's a simple rain shower or severe thunderstorm with severe thunderstorm watches or stuff like that, there's warnings, I'm always on top of that. But point being is, yes, I thought it was funny making that joke with the hurricane, talking about the character of the hurricane when I said, what's up with that? When I was saying about, it already getting to the main event of SmackDown Live sometimes, because I really was interested in really the flow and everything else. But I also realized with everything that's going on, I also wanted to make sure that that I do take that seriously. And my thoughts and prayers are with everybody affected from Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey, that those that are still and will be for a while, just because it's been weeks away, just because even a year or two away, let's say, in the future, people are still feeling the effects in some way or the other. Otherwise, other than, losing a loved one, if that did happen. But beyond that, point being is, my thoughts and prayers to all affected in any way. If I was a celebrity, if I had the money, I'd definitely be giving to many causes in Houston, in Texas, in Houston, Dallas, and otherwise, and also in Florida, in the Keys, Tampa Bay, and otherwise there in that great state of Florida, along with the Lone Star State in Texas. And one of them for sure, for both states and some of their cities, being the humane societies with animals. My love of animals. I am one of those people that feel like my pet is like a family member, not just a pet. To let them in the house, or them in the house, this and that. And I only do dress my pet up once, once every week, and that's for the Packer games. I have something for that, but I usually am not one with the whole Halloween stuff or whatever like that. But I do have a Packer costume for my pet. Point being is, though, that's one cause I would have given my money for if I was like JJ, like celebrity, without being rich, I should say, would have given to those causes. But again, back to SmackDown Live, back to business at hand here on the SmackDown Live review for this September 12th, 2017. United States Champion AJ Styles going one-on-one with Ty Dillinger. As from last week, the U.S. Open Challenge was open, but open to only one person, and that being the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. AJ Styles winning, but pretty good match back and forth. I did think Ty held his own, doing pretty well, but hopefully after this, because next week, because we got Baron Corbin that got involved, I guess you could say, during and then after, of course, and saying he's going to be answering the challenge next week. He'll be with the one to face AJ Styles in the U.S. Open Challenge. And that's certainly going to be interesting in that way for sure, to see if Baron can get the win next week or at some point in the future. Like I said, I do think Baron Corbin will be the next United States champion, whether it'll be happening next week or at Survivor Series, or whenever, or on the cell, or I don't know, whenever, or it could be. I think it to be he's going to be the United States champion. I'm just saying. Oh, and Sean 3 Club Garrett saying, bro, I'm really tired, but I'll rewatch this video in the morning at 7 o'clock. Bye, man. Have a good night. Yeah. Hey, if you have to go, you have to go. I appreciate that you were here at all for any amount of time. 10 seconds, 10 minutes, the whole thing. I appreciate it. Everybody that's here. Like I said, if you're watching live or archive, welcome to like the video if you enjoy it. And share and subscribe and all the fun stuff. You can't say that enough, right, as a YouTuber in a video? Then again, if you say it too many times, then it gets annoying to people. But I don't know. Since not too many people comment about that, I won't know if it gets annoying to people. I can't read their minds. Anyways, WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. I mean, to play mind games with Shinsuke Nakamura by mocking Nakamura on his faces. That was kind of funny. I don't know. It makes sense with him being a heel champion, but then again, anti-bullying campaign. Where it draws that line for WWE. That real thing being the anti-bullying company or trying to be. And then in storylines and kayfabe, still having to have your heels be, sometimes. So it's an interesting web they weave in that sense. But it still was entertaining to me. I've enjoyed Jinder Mahal as WWE champion. I know some haven't. Some wanted him to lose and drop the title at SummerSlam, and I respect that. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura is a great athlete. I'm sure he will be the next WWE champion, but just not yet. Or maybe he won't be the next WWE champion, but he will be the WWE champion or Universal champion. He'll be one of those two sometime in the future. I do believe that to be true. But I still hope and think that Jinder Mahal will still be WWE champion when we get to WrestleMania there in New Orleans, which I do hope to be there live. Maybe I'll be there live with Jamie. Maybe I'll be there live with my best friend or with other people or with my co-host here for my podcast, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Hopefully, either way, I'll be live and have a live show for WrestleMania prediction episode at that time. But we'll get to there when we get to there, right? Moving right along, we have SmackDown Women's Champion Natalya defeating Naomi in its championship match. And I didn't think Naomi was going to win. I thought there was a small sliver slice of a hope that maybe, that just maybe Carmella's going to cash in and win the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. I'm just saying. I just thought that could happen. You have this big event. What's going to be the buzz of the talk of the WWE Universe after the show beyond what I thought was going to be a pop-up powerbomb to Vince McMahon? But beyond that, I thought maybe Carmella cashes in and win the title. Now that to happen, Naomi would have had to win it back because you would have to have the heel attack the face after the match, being pissed off and this and that to the sense, and then leaving the champion down and out and stuff like that, and then having Carmella cash in 1, 2, 3, or cashing in. Say Carmella is cashing in her Money in the Bank contract, and then waits for Naomi to get up. Bell ring, ding, ding, ding. Finishing move to Naomi, boom. 1, 2, 3. Carmella winning. Now, what else was interesting during this match is Carmella on commentary with James Ellsworth, and James Ellsworth being all dog on the leash over there. That in itself was interesting. I didn't know Carmella was into that stuff. Then again, I assume she was into that stuff last week when she attacked, assaulted James Ellsworth there with that kiss. I mean, I wish I was kissed like that, I guess. I don't know. That was kind of weird to say. But point being is, and then got super slapped after that. So I assume then she might be into that shit. But you go more so now this week with that. So I don't know. That was just, let's just say, interesting to say the least. It makes the mind wander more than it really should. And that's a video for another day, maybe for a late night kind of video, if you know what I mean, in that way. But point being is, I do think when Carmella ever does cash in, James Ellsworth will help her. James Ellsworth will help, and she will win the championship. It'll be a successful cash. I really do believe it. And I really will keep saying that because I do think that's going to be the case. And that certainly would be interesting. But moving right along, The Usos facing the New Day. New Day winning the tag team championships. Again, that's why I have their theme song as the opening and going to be the closing intro and outro for this episode and review of SmackDown Live. So congratulations to the New Day winning the titles again. As I heard in the rumor mill a week ago that the New Day will be breaking tag team record of tag team championships reigns. That being the Dudley Boys at 8. Right now they're at their 4th with the New Day. So they have 5 more to break it. 4 more to tie it, right? The simple math right there. Yep, 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 5 is 9. Boom. There we go. I mean, yeah, I'm a guy that does calculus problems for fun. But anyway, his point being is that if that's going to be the case, then we're going to have these hot shot and bouncing back and forth, hopping the tag team championships. Probably doesn't like that, just like I didn't like that with the Raw Women's Championship with Charlotte and Sasha Banks for a bit there, even though they are the 2 best in WWE, maybe even pro wrestling in general, with Charlotte being number 1, I still say. Still say Charlotte Flair's number 1, in my opinion. But Sasha Banks is a distant second in that kind of thinking. And to me, then we also had Dolph. So congratulations to the New Day. They'll win other tag team titles. So they'll go back and forth. So will that mean the Usos win it at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? Maybe. Again, if this is going to happen, they're going to be happening sooner rather than later, because when they do, quote unquote, break this record, if that is the plan by WWE, then what? Then the night after that pay-per-view event, when they win their 9th tag team championship, whether they're still on SmackDown Live or Raw, whatever, when that time being, the Raw or SmackDown Live after that event, they break up. That's how I would book it. If that's the way they want to go, if they want to have the New Day break this record and be 9-time tag team champions and this and that, take the Dudley Boys record in a sense, cool, whatever. But if you are going to do that, have it being a payoff of it splitting up. And if I would book it on Raw or SmackDown after that pay-per-view, they break the record, I would have Big E turning on them than any of the other ones. Because I think there's bigger things for Big E as a singles competitor than being part of the New Day. I really think he could flourish and shine in that time. Oh, there's breaking news, Slappers Gamer. Is it having to do with the Mae Young Classic? Because I already know about that. If it was something else, maybe I can say it here on there. If you want, you can give me a hint, or you don't have to. It's up to you. But either way, moving right along, Dolph Ziggler making another set of extravagant entrances, one being Bayley. I don't know where this is going. I don't know how this can be salvaged. Again, like I said, Dolph Ziggler just needs to go focus on his other careers, other things he's interested in, like comedy, being a comedian. He's good at it, actually, to be honest. Or otherwise, or working in these scenes. However, I just think it's time for him to go. I think this is what this is going to be leading to, him just up and quitting one of these times at the end. Because each time now, last week and now this week, and even though it's only been 2 times, I've been waiting for at the end. Well, instead of him just saying, "Oh, I don't care about you being the WWE Universe," he says, "I don't care at all," and he says, "I'm done. I quit," or something like that, or something simple like that. Like in that way, not as dramatic as when Batista in the middle of the ring quit, and everything there. But it just seems to keep going and going and going, and to me, a little bit useless and getting old to me, and this and that, and then finally, boom, he's gone. So that's where I think it's going to be going as it pertains to Dolph Ziggler. And then we have the main event segments with Kevin Owens and Vince McMahon, all the tagging pins, the headbutt, and this and that. I thought there was going to be a pop-up powerbomb. I really thought that was going to happen. I said that, I'm sure, last week. I'm talking to Jim, whatever else, and on Twitter, that pop-up powerbomb was going to be the big thing of the night, to show over and over again, and then show it in the video package, starting off the show next week. Vince McMahon, pop-up powerbomb. But Vince McMahon, he always takes bumps, and I always remember with Triple H, he said once in a promo with CM Punk heading into their pay-per-view match, I forget what pay-per-view that was, but still heading into that, talking about how Vince McMahon would sign this contract, take a butt kicking, and be best for business. And Vince has always been that way as a Mr. McMahon character, starting all the way back with the Stone Cold Steve Austin feud, the Attitude Era, putting his talent over in that way. whether in a match or just even now when segments like this with talent. And now it's, Kevin Owens being on the receiving end of that. Good stuff. But again, I really thought Papa Palmer was going to happen. And then we see Stephanie McMahon come out there. Now, in a sense of having not Zack Ryder, Stephanie McMahon coming out there. I mean, I don't know. Oh, Zack Ryder giving up. I don't know about giving up, but there's a tag team match there with Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable beating the Hype Bros. And then Zack Ryder, instead of shaking hands with Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, he just walks off. So that could be a start of a heel turn for Zack Ryder, which maybe Zack Ryder might want to get in the mix in the U.S. title picture. Maybe, maybe not. Have him answer the call for one of these U.S. Open challenges. You never know. Never know. Could be the case because they could keeping of having someone else answer the call or answering the challenge, so to speak, and then Baron Corbin attacking them, but them still being able to answer the challenge, and then afterward Baron just attacking them and going crazy. And that will lead up to them Baron Corbin facing AJ Styles to the United States title. We get the Hell in a Cell, so like 3 weeks now. Three more SmackDown Live shows before we get to that event, I think. 3 or 4. But either way, it's going to be interesting. And I'm certainly think that's where it's going with Zack Ryder. So thanks for bringing that up, Jay Thomas, asking about Zack Ryder giving up. I don't think he gave up. I think it's just the start of a heel turn. Maybe a slow burn heel turn, whatever it be. That to be for him. And it'll lead to a one-on-one match and then go from there. But either way, I don't know. But things could be good for Zack Ryder. Maybe him being WWE champion. Never know. Jinder Mahal is the current one. So you never ever know. But back to the main event segment, and with Stephanie McMahon. Again, in the kayfabe world, in the storyline, she is the commissioner of Monday Night Raw. So what is she doing on SmackDown Live? Yeah, it makes sense for her to come out because that's her gosh darn father. But, again, blurring that line. And maybe that's the point of doing it because it's still blurring the line, right? Because that is her daughter. Or that is her father. She is his daughter. This and that. And the whole storyline with Kevin Owens being about the McMahon family in whole. But then does that mean Triple H has to get involved? I mean, Triple H can be upset with Kevin Owens, but Triple H, again, it's surrounding kayfabe being the one that pretty much handed the Universal title to him months ago. So that's going to be an interesting dichotomy if that does happen at all. And if we see Stephanie McMahon technically on television, on live TV, on SmackDown Live, but it's still on air, as technically, like I said, in our WWE Universe bubble in kayfabe being the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, you're having a father on a SmackDown Live show, and yet we also been waiting for a while to her to return on Raw as her character. And that's why maybe it makes more sense because you do draw that line between real and fantasy because when she came out, she was just regular Stephanie McMahon. Right? Corporate office person, daughter of Vince McMahon, listening like the real Stephanie McMahon, not the character, whatever Stephanie McMahon coming out there. And I don't mean that because she didn't have any entrance music when she came out, but I just mean that in general because how she was acting. She didn't act what her character would have because her character is still a heel, right? Right? Yeah, so it's still a heel authority figure on television on Raw as the commissioner stuff. So. And going up against her brother. I want to destroy her brother in SmackDown Live. Again, is the character. So having her coming out as regular Stephanie McMahon makes Jay Thomas, others, even myself, for a little fraction of a second, or maybe more than that, but a little bit, wondering what's going on here with the ending of that show. But then that's a good thing, right? It gets people talking on podcasts and otherwise, on Twitter and social media, however, wherever, blog posts about that interaction. Or maybe I'm analyzing it too much and others know what's going on more than I do, like BC Amplified. Maybe they do. And he does. I don't know. But this is just my opinion on how I took it. And certainly going to be interesting to see how things would go moving forward with Vince McMahon and with Terry and with Kevin Owens. And all the things, everything for SmackDown Live was a good show. If I got to vote my own SmackDown Live Insta poll, I'd probably go with great. And I want to give it a 10 out of 10. Now, I'm going to check Twitter and see if there is some As I'm trying to have this load. All right, let's see WWE. See if there's any actual breaking news, and see if I do find these breaking news and actually breaking news that I can say that isn't total spoilers. But if it is what I think it is, dealing with the Mae Young Classic, then I already know. As I'm scrolling through here, I'm sorry here. Yeah, I think it's just that. With the or not the Cruiserweight Classic, obviously the Mae Young Classic. But anyways, okay, that'll be. I guess that'll do it for my SmackDown Live review. Thanks for everybody that watched live, that watch archive. Welcome to like the video, share the video, subscribe to me to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Check out other videos of mine in the past and ones coming up in the future. My next video will be tomorrow night. My NFL podcast. Keep rolling. Week 2 of the NFL season. My predictions, and as I will have, I'll actually be on camera for those episodes, as you saw from my week 1. Or for my week 1 picks, and I'll have my matchup of the week. Jay Thomas out there. Hopefully you like seeing your New England Patriots as my matchup of the week for week 1. So week 2, what will be my matchup of the week? Well, you have to find out tomorrow night, as you'll see when I go live right away and you see the helmets behind me. What matchup? Maybe your team will be the team that I have for matchup of the week for week numero dos, or number 2 in the National Football League's NFL season. So glad it's here. So glad it's back. I have a full schedule. That means, though, for my YouTube channel, Monday, Raw reviews, right after the show, Tuesdays, SmackDown Live review, right after the show, I'm talking WBJ, then back here on this channel, as I am right now, obviously. Then Wednesday, Talking Package with Steve, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern live on this channel. Thursdays, Talking WBJ, Layback Thursday episodes at 5 p.m. Central on Talking WBJ, and then Steve's Wrestling Ramble, 7 p.m. Central on this channel, Sports Talk Network. So, got myself busy weeks now, each and every week. So, it's only going to be interesting for sure. Just I'm sure last few things I want to read here. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Vince as the guest referee, and then she also said, and she's already been signed by Triple H. Okay, cool. On both fronts, it'll be interesting to see if Vince would be the referee. Or, what would be even more interesting? To have as their guest referee, Jay Thomas, and for all the others that might be still watching live, let's have Stephanie McMahon. Still McMahon, right? But have Stephanie McMahon, since you had her on TV anyways, and again, in the kayfabe and storyline and in our WWE Universe bubble, as I now call it, in her own little world, she is Commissioner of Monday Night Raw doing battle against her brother, on SmackDown Live for ratings and all this other stuff. Like, remember when things were being shaken up and Vince McMahon, on that Monday Night Raw, picking the general managers and going for and all the other stuff. You can go back to YouTube channel for that video. But point being is that would be, I would actually say, more intriguing having Stephanie McMahon as a guest referee than Vince McMahon. And like I said, that would be the reason, because of Triple H involvement and Triple H helping Kevin Owens win the Universal title, and that being Stephanie's husband, obviously, and all that other economy and dynamics with the McMahon family, and Kevin just attacked her father, facing her brother in the actual match. I think that would be actually even better to have Stephanie McMahon as the special guest referee than even her father would. That would be. But I don't think, honestly, I still don't see a special guest referee actually happening for that match. I think it'll just be one-on-one. Kevin Owens gets the win, pop a powerbomb, or 2 of them, and defeat Shane. It'll still be a good match. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think it needs a special guest referee. But if they were going to have a special guest referee, as Jay Thomas is bringing up here, I would go with Stephanie McMahon. That'd be my vote. Maybe I should put it as a poll, since I love doing polls now on my Twitter, polls and stuff like that, and polls and otherwise, put that out. Who would you want to be seen as special guest referee? Vince McMahon, or special guest referee, if there is a special guest referee for the Shane McMahon Kevin Owens Hell in a Cell match at pay-per-view with a namesake. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, anybody else, or no special guest referee. That'd be the 4 options. So I might have that actually on my Twitter handle tomorrow morning. or sometime soon, maybe Thursday morning, and then I'll bring up the results on the show. Amazing how that would work. But anyways, point being is I'll talk about that then at that time. And yeah, or you never know. Yeah, probably competing with Bella against Carmella. Maybe. It'd be nice to see the winner of the Mae Young Classic on SmackDown Live, since Asuka's going to Monday Night Raw. Just saying. I'm just saying. But anyway, that should do it for the SmackDown Live review. I think Jay Thomas and others that were part of the live stream here, live viewing. Again, I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, with my Talking Packers with Steve podcast, talking NFL Week 2 predictions, leaders notes, and all other fun things going on there. I talk about all 32 there, of course, and I'll be live on camera and have my helmets in the back of me, behind me. Matchup of the week. So find out if your team is matchup of the week. You never know. Stay safe, have fun, enjoy the rest of your evenings and whatever you may be doing. And as always, take care.